Hey there, Wendy here with Jazzydoodledesigns, and today by request we are going to go over my process for how I pick a page, how I pick colors, what my thinking is when determining those things. Now, eventually this will be a full color along on the channel. In my poll, you chose this book along with Brute Squares colored pencils, so look for a full color along as well. But today we're just going to talk about the process. Now, in this case, I've allowed the poll to choose my medium and my book. But if I was just setting out to color, one thing that I look at is what medium do I want to use. So if I'm in the mood to play with, let's say, Distress ink or Neocolor 2s, oftentimes I'll choose a book that has more background. Something like a Denise Klett or a Hannah Carlson's a good one for that. Whereas if I'm in the mood to just do pencil only, I might choose something like Teresa Goodrich or Rita Berman. It really depends. So that is something that kind of influences me. My mood, quite honestly. What speaks to me? Am I wanting cute animals, or am I wanting like a Kirby thing, like the mythical gods, or whatever. Also, Kirby's books provide a little more guidance in terms of shading and whatnot. So all of those things kind of go in to my thoughts. Now, in this case, you guys chose the book, but I still had to choose the page. So how do I go about doing that? Well, it's middle of October right now. We're rapidly approaching Halloween, and I want to do a Halloween page. And so that limits my choice to two. There's this page, which is a single page, super cute, or there's this double page spread. And there are a lot of colored images of this page online. A lot of different versions, but not a lot on this page. And so I have chosen to do this double page spread. So I'm going to walk you through kind of my thought process when determining what colors am I going to use. So in my mind, Halloween kind of screams, obviously orange, black. I think of lime green. I think of purple. So what I do, especially when I'm looking at a page this big, I want to figure out what colors do I have to use. Now, with the little critters, these are all going to mostly be neutral colors. With the exception, I'm thinking this little cat here and the fox are going to be more orange tones. I know that my jack-o'-lantern's going to be orange. The pumpkins are going to be orange. So I have some orange elements. So then I start thinking, okay, what else do I know? I know that I want it to be a night background. So I'm going to go with a deep navy blue or more of a darker blue for the sky. So knowing that, I'm going to want to pull that blue into my picture somewhere. So my thoughts are maybe this little guy's outfit could be blue, potentially like a goose outfit might be blue. I'm not sure. I'm thinking chocolate donuts with some sprinkles, maybe a chocolate cake. And so that brings in some browns. So I'm looking at other big elements like the table. This is a big focal point, this table. So I'm thinking maybe purple for the tablecloth, because I'm going to have orange here. So my first thought would be to do like an orange drapery with black, right? But then I've got the orange here, and I've got an orange cat. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe that's too much orange. So I'm thinking maybe some purple here. And then to bring the purple over into this side of the page, maybe this cat's cape could be done in purple. I'm thinking like a gold frame. So as I'm working, I'm thinking, okay, black wings, black spider web, maybe some pink, like not pink, but more like a this color, right, for his little outfit, and potentially her outfit with like a little iridescent wings that kind of bring in some of the other colors into the wing. So that's kind of my thought process, is that I want to choose what I know for example, the orange pumpkin, and then look at your big elements, and then whatever color you're choosing for them, find another home for it to where you have some cohesion in this page. Now, some people like to use color palettes. I generally pick my colors intuitively, but let's look at a color wheel. So I just picked one of the colors, right? This color here, this yellow green. I know I'm going to have that for like the slushy, and maybe even the geese would be, their little capes would be in this green. So if you look at the other colors that I've chosen, dark blue for the night sky, purple for the tablecloth, red violet here for the cape, and purple for the pumpkins. So the only one that I don't have is this red. When you have 5 colors next to each other on the wheel, or 4 or 3, let's say more than 3, and they're all right next to each other, that's called an analogous color scheme. When you have something straight across, that's called a complementary. So I kind of have a combination of the two going on here. Now, I don't have any red in my mind for this page, and I'm okay with that. I can choose to put in some red if it suits me when I'm coloring. So I don't always know exactly what colors I'm going to use where. I generally just pick out some main elements and then try and incorporate the same colors. I often use quite a few pencils when I do this, but I will use families. So for example, I might use these 3 purple pencils, but essentially I'm only adding the color purple. I'm just giving it some variation of color. So I try not to add every color in the rainbow. Although on a big spread like this, it's a little tempting to have all the colors. But essentially I'm going to have orange, purple, green, blue, and a touch of that red violet, which I think I can spread those out and make it cohesive enough that it's going to work in this picture. The other thing that I'll tell you is, as I color, let's say that I'm not sure about what color to color this guy's outfit. I will go ahead and continue to color on, and then as I get more on the page, then I can say, what do I need to balance the picture? Because what I don't want to do in a 2-page spread is have this page be predominantly orange and this one not have any orange at all. The pages, because it's a 2-page spread, it'll look unbalanced. Now, if it's a 2-page spread with 2 very distinctive pictures, for example, like in Kirby Rosanus, where he has like the crown picture, if you know what I'm talking about, and then there's another crown picture over here. You could definitely do, you know, this one all in red and this one all in green, and that would be fine. But this is one image. This is a picture of this party. So we definitely want to have some balance in our picture. I think it's tempting when you do these to add every color in the rainbow. So that is something that I'm always looking for. And I will do subtle things like in the wings here. These are going to be black, but I may put an undertone of the blue from the sky or the purple from the table. And it's very subtle. When you look at it, it's going to read black, but it'll be like a blue black or a purple black. And I plan on doing that with my bats and these wings. And those little subtleties will help bring this picture together as one unit, as opposed to your eye just being overwhelmed with lots of color. Now, the temptation in this page for me is I want to start on this side because this is where all the fun is, right? And this is a lot more background and there's cute images, but the focal point of this picture is right here. So, but I'm right-handed, so I don't want to be starting over here and then constantly working across my page, if that makes sense. So I will start here. Oftentimes I also start with my background, and the reason I do this is because your background can make or break your picture. And while I plan on having a neutral background here, I haven't decided. I'm thinking I want these two poles to be darker to help frame the picture a little bit. So I may leave these whatever they are, columns, I may leave these for last. In my mind, I've pictured like a wooden banister with warm brown tones and possibly a wooden frame around here, maybe even with wood knotting or something like that, just to add a little interest there. I thought about making those brick, but in the end, I think I'm just going to go with my warm wood tones for the two windows, and then like a beigeish brown for the background with just a kiss of some of those colors just ever so lightly. But those are ways that I'm trying to figure out how to bring cohesion to this very busy page so that when we look at it, our eye doesn't know where to look, right? So that's my thought process. That's what I'm thinking for this page. I don't know if I said it, but I'm thinking black for the cobwebs as opposed to white. And more than likely, I will use something like glossy accents or some sort of stickles. I'm leaning towards stickles right now with the glitter effect for the cobwebs, but I'm going to need to see how the page ends up tying together. As far as this tile, right now I'm leaning towards like a like French gray type of colors, but once again, I may start with that and end up adding some darker tones. A lot of that I allow to just progress and see what I need in the page. So I will probably put in the light background to get started and work my way across the page, and then add more color if needed. So I hope you found this video helpful, and as always, I try and walk through the process. I don't know, this is going to be a very long color along. Most likely I'm going to divide it into maybe 3 parts, you know, coloring, you know, different elements. And then, so it might be 3 tutorials. And more than likely, a lot of this will be set to music because I've kind of walked you through my thoughts. If I have thoughts, I will pop them in. But this is definitely going to be a lot of hours of coloring. And quite honestly, I just can't come up with that much to say that won't bore you to tears. The last thing I want to mention here is I personally like colorful pages. I enjoy using all the colors, and I probably use too many. The pages that really stand out to me when I see things on Instagram or on Facebook are the ones where they've limited their palette. So keep that in mind when you're choosing your colors. I do what makes me happy. And I am going to be doing some challenges going forward where I really restrict myself to challenge myself to do it. But that is something that you should keep in mind when you're choosing your colors. The other thing I'll point out is because you requested this specific information, how to choose a page, the process, I will say Karen over on My Colorful Country Life just put up a video recently going through her process, so I would encourage you to check her out as well. I look forward to seeing you in the color along, so until then, happy coloring. Thank you for watching another video from Jazzydoodledesigns. If you enjoy adult coloring content, please consider subscribing. You can now find me on Instagram and Facebook as well. I welcome all comments and suggestions. Don't forget to like the video before you go, and until next time, take care.